Welcome back to my messy to minimal mama journey, where today I bring you another real life complete disaster messy house cleanup. Today's video is definitely part of my Hoarder House Cleanup series. As you can see, my desk is a complete disaster. This is definitely one of my hoarder anxiety depression piles of clutter that I have been procrastinating to clean, but today is the day I'm going to tackle this mess, and I'm bringing you right along with me. So if you are also struggling with cleaning house while living with anxiety and depression, or struggling with hoarding, or maybe having some hoarding tendencies, and you just can't get motivated to get up and declutter or clean your house, then this video is definitely for you. I want you to get up right now and clean right along with me. I promise if you take that initial step to do so, by the end of this video, you are going to feel so much lighter mentally, physically, and spiritually. So that's what I'm here for. So if I can do this, you can do this. Get up, no excuses. Let's get cleaning together right now. Aloha, beautiful, mighty souls. I have missed you guys so much. I feel so good to be back here. I really hope you are all doing very well and everything is going good for you on your minimalism journey. And if you are home right now and you are struggling with a clutter pile and you just don't know how to get started, then this video is definitely for you. I'm going to help you right now. So number one, before I get into talking about what it's like to be a hoarder from my perspective and my experience with it, I want to share with you guys my plan of action to declutter this hoarder clutter pile, and just to let you guys know how easy it really is. Like, we tend to overthink and overcomplicate things when it comes to decluttering spaces in our home and dealing with any type of clutter. Like, if you're anything like me, that's what I do. And so I procrastinate and then I avoid altogether. And so if that sounds like you, then seriously, this video is for you and I'm here for you. So number one, what you want to do is have a plan of action before you start to declutter. So the way I do it is I always come up with some empty boxes or baskets so that there is a designated place for the items that I'm going to remove from the cluttered pile. So in my situation, my desk is a complete disaster and I need it to start at the very top of the mountain of hoarding clutter that I had. So I'm working my way from the top down, and I just started to pull things off and put them into the designated boxes. So when it comes to the designated boxes or baskets, whatever you choose to use, you want to categorize the items. So for me, with the variety of clutter I had here today, I decided to use a box for only office supplies, so any type of like pens, pencils, erasers, staplers, staples, paper clips, anything office supply related or school supply related, I put into one box. And then another box was for any type of home decor, like wall hangings, shelving, flower pots, anything I found, candles, anything like that that's like home good related, I put in another box. And then another box for just any type of paperwork or bills or anything I found. I just put all the paperwork together. I didn't even try to sort through any of it because that is going to be the second stage of your decluttering. And so for the sake of time and being able to deliver this video to you guys today, I wanted to omit that second step of me sitting down, going through all the boxes and all that, because that was just going to take more time to edit into this video. And so I did not put that in today's video, but I am here to help you get motivated to clear the surface area. So that is the purpose of today's video, is for you to clear that clutter out of that space so that you could see the floor or the tabletop or the desk and actually have that clean space and not be looking at that eyesore of hoard and clutter and, you know, having it weigh on you heavily, because I will tell you that's what happens with me. And I'll get into that after I continue with my plan of attack. So going back to the designated boxes or baskets, where you're going to sort and categorize the clutter, the items that you're pulling from the clutter pile, because it's going to make stage 2 of your decluttering process way more easier, less stressful, less overwhelming. Okay. But again, I won't be sharing that in today's video. So that's really all it is, you guys. Like, it's that simple. We just need to clear the space. We always tend to procrastinate because we overthink. We think it's going to be so much more. No, all it is right now is you need to get up, go to that clutter pile and take a little shopping bag like I did. That's another thing. I used a shopping bag to collect all the trash. So basically that was it. I collected all the trash in the shopping bag as I worked my way from the top of the pile down to the bottom. And then any items that I found, I put it in the specific category for, the designated box for that specific category. And really, you guys, that's it. It's really that simple. I know, like, it's crazy when you think about it, because believe me, the reason I have this mountain of clutter here is because I too kept saying, oh no, I can't do it. It's going to take too much time. This is too much. I just can't even handle it. Oh my gosh, I can't even think about it. And I would get that anxiety and that overwhelm, and I would procrastinate and I would avoid altogether. So I'm telling you guys, don't do that. Just go through that clutter pile, okay? Get it done. All you're doing is transferring the items into the designated boxes or baskets, and that's it. You don't even have to look at this stuff later. You can move those boxes to a different space in your home. You don't even have to sort through the stuff today. Now, if you're able to, I highly recommend you do it as soon as possible. But to be quite honest, I didn't do it the same day. I did wait for that following weekend because, life gets in the way. I'm a single mother, and believe me, I know, like, there's other things besides decluttering our home, right? I mean, in a perfect world, we can just focus in on our house only and everything would be great and magical. But that's not the case when you're a mother, especially a single mom. And if you work outside of the home, like me, I'm riding that single mother struggle bus, and it's time and energy. It's very limited. So I do my very best. But unfortunately, my minimalism journey has taken a back seat because of all those other life responsibilities and also that quality time that is necessary with my family. But for now, with the plan of action, that's it, you guys. You're just transferring your clutter into the boxes. And then that second step, like I said, if you choose to do it today, wonderful. If you choose to do it in a couple days because maybe just even being up clearing the space was very emotionally draining for you, or just, physically draining or mentally draining, I get it. I know the struggle. So just take it step by step, baby steps, how you can. But I highly recommend doing it as soon as possible, because the longer you keep the items in your home, you may start picking out of those boxes again. And then let's face it, okay, the whole reason we have this hoarder clutter pile is because we did not have the space for most of the belongings, right? But we also struggle with letting go and making that choice, because that decision making is hard when you have hoarding tendencies or if you are a hoarder. So I get the struggle of letting go of items, and that's why we accumulate this clutter in these clutter piles and these hoarding piles, if you will. So yeah, try to get that stuff out of your house as soon as possible. And I will make another video on how I go through all the stuff that, I categorized. I just, like I said, for the sake of time and getting you guys a video out, I was only going to focus this video on helping you to clear a surface area. Okay. So I hope by now you are up and you have made that one small step forward to that clutter pile to just start collecting the trash and just taking those baby steps to, making that progress in decluttering that space in your home. So after you have completely cleared all the clutter from that space and everything is sorted into the different designated boxes or baskets, then you can vacuum all the dust that was there, because let me tell you, the space was very dusty. And so I am vacuuming right now, and then I'm just gonna finish up with a really good wipe down of the surface area. And that's it, you guys. Then you have totally succeeded in clearing the clutter from your space. And you should feel so proud of yourself by this point if you did get up and clean along with me. Maybe you're not finished yet. That's okay. I have other videos, or you could just listen to music or play this video again. Maybe you haven't decided to get up just yet and start. But if you decide now to get up and get started, just start the video over and we can do it again. That's the lovely thing about being here on YouTube, is that I'm always here for you. And so now that we are done with my plan of action, and because this video is not very long, I'm just going to briefly talk about my experience with being a hoarder and how I am learning to stop those type of hoarding behaviors and tendencies so that I can live a more minimalistic lifestyle, because that's the overall goal here, is to go from messy to minimal. So with all that being said, I do want to state for the record that whatever I speak here on my channel is strictly based on my own personal struggle with hoarding, but I'm hoping that it will resonate with at least one of you out there as well, so that I can help you. I never claim to be an expert on any of this. I'm just simply sharing the ways I cope and survive through the struggle of cleaning house while living with anxiety and depression, as well as being a hoarder. So speaking of being a hoarder, it is very difficult for me to admit that out loud, because along with that word hoarder comes stigma of being dirty or filthy. And I blame that on the show Hoarders from A&E, but I never seen myself as a hoarder, because I would watch it and be like, oh my gosh, how could they live that way? How do they let it get that bad? And that is a very severe level of hoarding. That is what they're showing. There are various levels of hoarding. So just like with minimalism, hoarding is also not a one size fits all. Like, you can be more at my level, where my level of hoarding is, you know, I will never like let it get to the point where like I'm living in filth and grime. Okay. But I develop an attachment to things where it's difficult for me to let go. And so I will live with excess stuff just to hold on to those things, because it's difficult for me to get rid of them, because then I'd have to emotionally detach, and that brings up feelings of anxiety, and it triggers things from my childhood, which I have figured out that my hoarding stems from my childhood. And so without going into the whole story of my childhood, the bottom line is, so my dad was a single parent, and he was a struggling single parent. And so we had always what we needed, but we never had like all the extra cool things that like our friends had. And, you know, we never had like the name brand clothes or shoes and cool school supplies, or like that cool new toy, or that new like whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? So I developed a sense of lack as a child of material things. And so as an adult, once I was able to provide for myself and have that extra income to buy whatever I wanted, I started to shop for things that I wanted. I never deprived myself of anything. And by doing so, I found enjoyment and happiness in shopping, because it would give me, you know, that temporary dopamine rush, that high, if you will. And so that just created a bad habit of a shopping addiction, which resulted in excess amount of stuff and clutter in my home. A lot of things are brand new, but the purchases were not very well thought out, if I'm being completely honest. So like I said, that resulted in excess stuff in my home, which technically is clutter, because if you don't have a proper home or space in your home for your belongings, then it just tends to accumulate into clutter piles in other spaces of your home. And then that takes up space that you could be using, just like, for instance, my desk. I've been unable to use my desk since I started to accumulate a clutter pile here. So that is one of the struggles I deal with being a hoarder. Then there's the whole aspect of becoming emotionally attached to the item, because again, growing up with that feeling of lack, I was trying to always find happiness in having whatever I wanted, material-wise. I have learned now at this point in my minimalism journey that that's not the truth. You're not going to find happiness in objects and items. I do know that now. And I have done a lot of extensive healing work on myself for all my childhood trauma. I've been on a healing journey for like the past 9 years now. So I'm very much experienced in this. And that's why I wanted to start my minimalism journey when I did. But honestly, you guys, I never realized I was a hoarder until like the couple years ago. And that's why I wanted to do this Hoarder House Cleanup series, to share that openly. Hoarding does affect how I live, and it does take a toll on my mental health, and then that affects my physical health and my spiritual health. So it all goes hand in hand, and it's a vicious cycle. And so the bottom line is, we really need to focus in on developing those good habits and learning how to live without over purchasing of material things, and learning to live more simply and free up that time and energy so that we have it with our loved ones and to do the things that we really enjoy or to learn new things. So that is my overall goal in this minimalism journey, and why I want to share my heart with you guys with my struggle with hoarding. So that's pretty much it, you guys. That's what I have for you today. I really hope that this video brought you that real life cleaning motivation if you too struggle with cleaning house while living with anxiety and depression, or having struggles with hoarding or hoarding tendencies. Remember, you are not alone, and if I can do this, you can do this. Also, please make sure that you are subscribed if you were already subscribed, because YouTube does do frequent purges, and since I haven't posted in a while, I'm afraid that could happen to you. So double check you are subscribed if you want to be subscribed, and click that notification bell for all so that you can get my new uploads. So for now, I'm going to say stay mighty and God bless. And if you're new here, thank you. I hope you will stick around and join the messy to minimal journey with me. Bye.
Shooting me with words, but I won't let them bruise. Even though it hurts, I won't show it to you, 'cause it will ricochet